Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Drama Surgery Podcast. In this episode, I am going to be covering a Thai drama titled My Stand-In. This is a Thai BL drama that is currently airing as of the time of this recording, and they've only aired 6 of the 12 episodes. And honestly, I thought I would wait till after it finished airing before I do a review, but I am just so invested and I want to talk about it. If you listen to my episode on my only 12%, you would have heard me say at one point that I always somehow keep the toxic dramas in my head longer, like they linger with me because I am just pissed about a lot of things, and the angst and just the torment that comes with watching a toxic drama, right? Just stays with me, and I just think about that drama more. And so that's why dramas like Turn Type and King Porsche are dramas that I recall and I actually really like, right? This is another drama like that, in that it is so toxic, like to the max when it comes to like the characters. As a character, the main male character here is such a red flag. Like he doesn't beat Vegas in the sense that Vegas is, at the end of the day, physically abusive and it was like the worst kind of person. But for some reason you can kind of forgive Vegas because Vegas is a mafia guy. And so when I say Vegas, I'm talking about Vegas in King Porsche, right? Vegas is part of the mafia. So you're still in that world, and so you kind of excuse some things. In this case, these are just regular people, right? I mean, regular in the sense that they're celebrities in some way, or they're in show business, in the entertainment industry. But they are regular people. So that makes the main character here even more of a red flag. But we'll talk about that more in a second. First, just to give a quick synopsis of this drama. Basically, this story follows Joe, who is a stuntman of a famous actor named Tong. Tong has this friend called Ming that happens to be the brother of this girl he's dating, right? So Ming has a sister that's dating Tong. But actually Ming also likes Tong, right? And is in this unrecruited love triangle kind of with Tong. And he's not able to like confess his feelings because at the end of the day, he loves his sister and stuff like that, right? And so he discovers Joe, who is the stunt man for Tong. And if you know anything about like stunt doubles, you know that they are similar in some way to the actor that they are supposed to like be standing in for, right? And so in this case, Joe, from the back especially, like looks like Tong. That is the premise we go with in this, right? And so Ming becomes kind of attached to that, and they have a thing, right? They have a relationship, right? The problem is that Joe is this cinnamon roll, this guy that has nothing. He doesn't have a family, and so I think he really came to really like Ming, right? And so when he finds out that he's actually the stand-in for Tong, he's very upset about it. And it's in the midst of this he ends up dead and transmigrates into the body of somebody else, right, who is also called Joe, right? And it is from this that our story kind of starts. And basically we kind of are seeing things with flashbacks to why Joe is just so unhappy and unimpressed by Ming, but also seems to like love him so much, right? And so that's basically the story of this, right? It's a very good premise, and you have to give it up for the writer and director. A good tidbit to note is that this is the same director as King Porsche, and it also features 2 of the same writers as King Porsche. So you just know this is going to be good because King Porsche was just fantastic, right? You can tell that these people know what they are doing, right? And so like I am sure this is going to end well because I trust that the writer and the director knows what they are doing, right? And I think they're all like women too, which is just also awesome, right? But anyways, same director, writer, crew as King Porsche, right? And then just to talk a bit about the actors in this. So you have Pum, who is playing Joe, and you have Up, who is playing Ming. Pum, I would say, is one of those characters that like when you say somebody fits a role to the point where you can't see somebody else playing that role or that character, that is what Pum is in this, right? He plays Joe so well that you want to like take Joe and put him in your pocket and just keep him away from Ming. right? Because Poom has just this expressive face and he just does this, like he's really pulling on this drama. This drama is made for him, right? Up, I wasn't as enthusiastic about, I'll be honest, at the beginning because I remember him from My Lovely Writer, right? But honestly, I think he's also really good and he's getting even better. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but he also just fits in a weird way. So like, when you talk about having good acting and then good scripts, and then good director, right? And then good, like, just good everything, you have this drama and it's blowing up. It's so popular currently and everybody's talking about it because it is so toxic and it's also good. Like, it's so good, right? So what are the things that I love about this drama? What makes this drama so interesting, right? First of all, I would say that the community, this is a lot like Kim Posh when Kim Posh came out, right? In that, like, the community that is behind this, that's talking about this drama as it's airing, right? Like, it's huge. It's huge, so huge, right? And honestly, it was drawing half of my interest. Well, not half, just a huge portion of it, though, in the sense that, like, it's just so engaging, and it's just interesting to watch people say things and discuss this drama, right? So I think for me, what makes this drama interesting is the toxicity. Like, I love the fact that it's toxic. A lot of people dislike Ming. A lot of people like hate him so much and just like want like Joe to find somebody else to go with, like Saul, the other like K-pop idol, I think, that also likes Joe, right? But for me, honestly, I like toxic characters in my drama, especially when they are written the way Ming is written, right? In the sense that, so Ming is this character that, like, again, he's using Joe as a stand-in, right? But at the same time, Joe is this cute cinnamon roll. He's this lovely, just like, I don't know, adorable boy or guy that, like, Ming is unwittingly falling for him without knowing he's falling for him, right? So he's possessive over Joe. He like wants Joe all for himself, does not like when other people talk to Joe. Like, he's a very possessive, but he doesn't recognize that, right? And there's just something about that I like. You know, like, I don't like when my characters are not as invested, even when they are dicks. Like, he's a dick, but like, is the kind that I like, right? In a character, like, if a character is gonna be an asshole, I want them to be obsessed as well, you know. And Ming is obsessed with Joe, right? He doesn't know it, right? And I mean, the way the story is going, right? Because at this point, you know, Joe knows he's standing, he has transmigrated, so he is very heartbroken. He doesn't like Ming as, I mean, he loves Ming, right? But he is very cautious of Ming, right? The thing that makes this interesting is knowing that, like, the reason why Ming actually likes Tong, the fact that he saw his, you know, his back one day and fell in love with that, and they're not knowing that it's actually Joe. I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing, because you know that once he finds out that it was Joe, and then also finds out that the, you know, transmigrated person is also Joe, he's going to start begging. I just know it, and it's going to be awesome. Like, again, Ming is the kind of person that he has a lot of love to give, right? But that doesn't change the fact that he's still a rich sports brat, if that makes sense, right? This is, again, like town type. The character of type is like this, that there are characters that are flawed just as a person, right? But again, these kinds of people can still fall in love, right? It's the same thing here. Ming is an asshole, is a dick, is manipulative, really hurt Joe, right? But at the same time, you know that once he falls in love and once he understands that he's actually in love with Joe, he's gonna be the best boyfriend. If it was real life, I would be like, Joe, run as far as you can. But because this is a drama, I don't care. I want them to end up together. I don't care. Also because, like, I will say something about Joe. So when this whole thing started, when we got to like episode 4 or 5, we were all saying that, like, we need to save Joe. Joe needs to be saved. Like, he loves Didi too much. Joe does not understand that, like, Ming is a problem. Like, Joe has to be saved. Joe is too in love and it's clouding his judgment. All these things, we were like trying to save Joe. Oh my god, Joe does not want to be saved. Joe does not want to be saved. If you've seen episode 6, you know that Joe does not want to be saved. In the sense that episode 6, you find out that, like, he is kind of adopted mom, the mom he's accepted as his real mom, even though technically it's not his real mom, but because he lacks a family, he's like clinging onto her, and he has come to love her as well, right? Because again, Joe is this affectionate person, right? He craves love in that sense, right? And so these are two people that found themselves and are just bonding as family, right? Even though she doesn't know obviously that that's not her son, but again, lovely relationship they have, right? And so she's sick now, and you have Saul that offers him money. You also have Wood, right? That is like coach, right? That offers him money as well, right? And these two people offer him money, but I guess because he has to pay back, he says no, right? And so that's why a lot of people were like against it when he took Ming's offer and accepted it. But I think it makes sense, right? It makes sense for a lot of reasons. Like Joe is getting a lot of things out of this, right? First of all, he's getting a house. He's also getting a lot of money, and also he gets to keep sleeping with Ming. He does not want to be saved, right? Joe loves Ming. He loves him, even though he's heartbroken, even though he's sad that Ming doesn't love him back, or he thinks Ming doesn't love him back, right? He loves Ming. Like, swear that, like, he really, really is into Ming, right? And he can't seem to get himself out of it. Like, there's that scene where Ming is having the photo shoot, right? And he walks by and he turns and stares at Ming, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, dude, come on. Like, why are you staring at him like that? Like, you need to stand up. Like, it's so bad. Like, you can tell he's just smitten. Like, he cannot, like, you talk about Ming being obsessed, but honestly I think Joe is even more obsessed in a weird way, right? In that, like, he knows all these things and he's still in there with Ming, right? Ming, he has issues. He doesn't know it's Joe. All this, right? Ming is genuinely a terrible person, right? But Ming is understandable because, again, that's just who he is. Joe, on the other hand, oh gosh, I feel bad for him, but not really, because he's brought this upon himself to an extent. But honestly though, at the same time, this is why I like this drama, right? They are both so obsessed with one another and they don't know, right? They like don't understand. Joe loves Ming, but Ming has broken his heart and he doesn't want to accept that he actually is like in love with him and would, he craves his attention and just craves him, right? At the same time, Ming is obsessed with Joe, but also does not know that, does not want to admit it, right? Like, there's a moment where like he's sitting with Tong, right? And there's that person at the bar that is chatting up the new Joe, and you can see his face, and I will give it to Up. He's able to control his expression in a way that he doesn't overreact when he sees that scene, but he just stands up and goes to get new Joe. And again, like, it's just so well done that I'm like, oh my god, like, this is just so good, right? So I have to say that I just love the dynamic that they've put in here. It's the best kind, right? When they are just obsessed with it. Because if there's one thing I hate about like any show I watch, is if they can't get me to believe that the love is real. In this drama, even though Ming is a shitty person, even though Joe is a pushover to an extent, like, you can tell that like the love is real, right? Like, or maybe the lust is real then, I don't know, but there's something there that they can't stay away from each other. There are people like that in real life that, like, no matter how bad their partner is, they can't seem to like pull themselves away. And that is the scenario here, that like Joe is just so tied to Ming, and Ming can sniff out Joe even in the new body, like, even though like Joe has a different face, right? And I get like a jump scare every time the actor shows the face, because it skips my mind a lot that technically it looks different to everybody else. But anyways, I just find it so funny that like Ming can sniff out that something is interesting about this new guy, right? And he's already like kind of obsessed with this new person as well, even though he's still missing Joe, right? So I love this drama so much. I loved seeing Joe go through that heartbreak. It's sad and everything, but it's so entertaining for me, honestly. I don't know, there's something about this whole thing that it's just so well done. Like, I am on my seat every Friday waiting for this, because there's just something about it. And so yeah, I am really enjoying this drama, and I think a lot of people are too. And honestly, it's just so good. So if you're not watching this, I don't know, what are you watching? Seriously, what are you watching? Because this is the drama to be watching. But yeah, that's really it for this episode. I have ranted a bit too much, but honestly, I felt like I just had to talk about this, just like give my impressions about this drama, because oh gosh, Thumbs up, 10 over 10, honestly. Just 10 over 10. Wow. It doesn't get any better than this. 2024 has been great so far in the VR world. Like, it's been doing well so far. And honestly, like, yes. But anyways, that's all for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. As always, I will see you again next week. Have a lovely day. Bye.